Hiya, it's Molly from the Stand Comedy Club podcast. This week we're speaking to the incredible Paul McDaniel, and he really brings that heat. Enjoy!
Ba-da-da-da. Well, look about, ooh-wee.
That's interesting because there's most podcasts are by comedians. So.
Talk into your microphone, Paul.
Also, are we? Is this
We're going.
I thought we were just chatting.
That's how we walk.
Anyway,
Damn it!
welcome to the stage, Paul McDaniel.
Hi, it's me. Welcome to me. Yeah. Hello. What do you want?
Well, I was carrying on that, like the why we're hosting it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the stuff that we do, like we're interacting with all of the customers and all that, and lots of stuff happens that the acts don't see.
True.
Don't know about. Yeah.
And there's definitely like putting, particularly during the Fringe, putting shows on every day. Like we would have two very different perspectives of how that happened and stuff, and making sure that because there's some days it's really, really chaotic, and you need to make sure that it's smoothed over for when they go on stage.
Yeah, because I suppose our job is to make it as easy for you to do yours as possible.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't have any of those pressures on you other than your job is to make them laugh. That's the only pressure you've got.
Yeah. I did the Stand 4 last year in August, and the Fringe, and it was the group of people who were like I had a tech David,
yeah.
He was really good, and there was another guy who can't remember his
Mark?
name.
Mark.
It might be Mark.
Yeah.
Can you edit that in? Another guy, Mark, good friend of mine, and they were amazing, and they were such a good help. And there was just other people like Sarah. They were just so good at making you feel comfortable doing your show and everything like that. So it was really good. But yeah, I suppose it's different because you guys are probably like stressed out and just having a really tough time in August. Comedians are like, I suppose we're stressed out about our shows and stuff like that. And because you're only really doing an hour a day, but the rest of the time you're sort of like, I was trying to fix things because I realized the first week of my show, I was like, oh shit, a lot of this doesn't really work. I have to cut all this out and put loads of new stuff in, and I had to edit loads of stuff and do new videos and rewrite it and all, and I was like panicking. But after that, I was really happy with the show afterwards.
Yeah. It was a great show, to be fair. I'm not just blown smoke. It was.
Oh, Butterbeans, that was it.
Butterbeans.
Yeah, it was. I realized what worked most was me talking to myself, because I have like a
on film.
yeah. I have like a double act of me just checking in with myself and asking how I am and all. It just goes on for ages, and people seem to really like me interacting with myself. They say I've got like good chemistry with myself. It's just like, so I've got to do more of that this year, but it's going to be in a different way and stuff like that. And but no, I was quite happy with it by the end, and I had a really good Fringe, but I think by the end of it, I was a wee bit emotionally exhausted, because you're
that would make sense.
Yeah.
It's doing the same thing every day. There's like stress involved every single day. That's like
Stand 4 in particular that year was actually a great.
Stacked.
Everyone was great.
Really
it was a
enjoyed
really,
it.
really, really lovely room, and everyone on it had a. I can't remember off the top of my head. Everyone I can think had a great run, and they all had a really good Fringe, which was really nice. Which is it's great for us.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I saw Chris Thornburn's show. He was on after me, and Elaine Robertson's show was really good, and Amanda Dwyer was on there, and Ralph Brown.
It was great. It was really stellar, man. It was really good.
Yeah.
And I got to the Stand 3 had the political
I was about to bring
Q&A ones.
Yeah.
Oh, the in conversation with and stuff. And
I got to meet Jeremy Corbyn. I was really pleased.
Not just meet Jeremy Corbyn. Get a picture with Jeremy Corbyn holding a can of Butterbeans.
It was
class.
It was
we'll put it on the screen.
I was
Chris,
so nervous. Please. I was shaking, and like he started doing a Butterbeans advert while holding the Butterbeans, and he started saying Butterbean, Tesco Butterbeans, and he was like, and I was trying to film it, and I couldn't film it, so I just pressed photo, and it's just like him holding. And then I thought, like, whenever you meet someone famous, you think you're going to be annoying them.
Yeah.
But like, it ended up that we couldn't get rid of him. He was like, chatting to us for ages, and we were like, we've got to go, Jeremy. But he was really nice.
Oh, that's
obviously,
so
we've got to
cool.
try and not be like super politically affiliated.
Why?
Oh, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I just
yeah.
think we're supposed. But anyway, I'm a fan. But he's done.
yeah.
We had a few people do the In Conversation with over the years at the Fringe, and there was one year where the first year he did it, which was when he was like peak, like when he was the leader of the party. It was all like maybe the world can be better than it ended up being. We couldn't find him, and he was meant to be on stage, and we found him. Like, he was meant to be in the big room upstairs. Like 400 people had already come. It's like, where the hell's he gone? We went downstairs, and he was talking to the technician in the studio about whether or not we were paying him properly and whether he was getting treated right, which we were. Don't worry, he was being, but it's like he was just like out there going, "And Andy, are you okay at work?" And it's like, it's not just an act. Like,
He really does.
Yeah, he does. He's the
Yeah.
nicest guy ever.
Yeah.
He was my MP briefly when I lived in.
Isn't it?
So when I first lived in Finsbury Park, when I lived on Rock Street, it's fine, I don't live anywhere, you can't dox me. When I lived there, he was my MP, and then I moved across the road, and Diane Abbott became my MP instead. So I jumped crossing one
That's
road
wow.
to
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah.
Rock Street.
That was where I lived. We
That's
lived in
great.
20 Rock. We called it 20 Rock.
That's great.
But the bus stopped right outside of our house, and even though it was double glazing, like, you could see the windows doing this all the time. So for those listening, that was a vibration. You could see the windows vibrating all the time because the bus's engines would just like sit on the same and I was like, they're gonna break. They never did. We survived.
Wow.
There was more dangerous things going on in that house than the windows. It was a cesspit.
Oh no.
It's lovely though. Good times.
Wow.
Good memories. Precious times.
Oh well, yeah. Now you live in. Were you born in Glasgow?
I was born in Glasgow.
Yeah.
Were you made in the Royal Navy?
I was born in Carlisle, but I was made in the Royal Navy.
Why is that Geordie accent?
Because they're from
that's what the
Carlisle.
advert is.
People from Carlisle have a slightly. Have you never seen the advert?
Also, sorry, Stuart McPherson, for stealing your joke.
Was that it? You didn't invent the advert.
Yeah, I know, but it's a very funny bit that he does.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry, Stuart. Come on the pod. Maybe I'll stop nicking your material.
That's a threat.
It's a threat.
Come on.
Yes, I'm from Glasgow. And I've moved back here.
Oh,
But
nice.
Have you ever lived in London?
No.
way.
I don't know if I'd want to.
No, yeah.
Because loads of people are moving from London to
Like moving out again.
Yeah. And I've just heard it's a lot of comedians who move to London end up doing like, you have to do like quite a few gigs a night just to break even.
Like moving from one to
Just
the
to
other.
make it
Yeah,
work.
wow.
So like no one even really gets to talk to each other because like, oh, I've got to go after their set, and they get a train to like another gig and then another gig and another gig just to like pay their rent and stuff like that. And
Sean's just arrived.
hey, hello, Sean. But no, I lived in Glasgow for a bit. I moved to Edinburgh like 2 years ago. Before that, I lived in Northern Ireland. I'm from Northern Ireland. If you didn't notice, I lived in Wales for a bit.
Oh, did you? Where you been?
Aberystwyth.
Nice.
So I studied there
okay.
for a year and a half, and then so I've been about quite a bit.
Yeah.
So
What did you study?
I studied film and TV.
No way.
Yeah, is that what you did?
Yeah, not in
Yeah.
Aberystwyth though.
No. You studied film.
In Edinburgh.
Oh, in Edinburgh, which Edinburgh Napier?
Mhm.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
great.
Loved it.
Yeah. Do you still? I suppose you still use it, kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't use it
in a
as
way.
much as.
This has been filmed.
Yeah.
Nice mise en
press
scène,
record.
cinematography, and all. Yeah.
The rule of third.
all right. Showing off.
Are we breaking the fourth wall? Hi.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was good.
Did you write a dissertation? What was your dissertation on?
My dissertation was on it was on directors using child protagonists as like an emotional weapon.
Oh
Wow.
Yeah,
in
and
a negative way.
Yeah,
like,
so
sort of?
basically I want in fairy tale films it's like using the eyes of a child to to show.
Oh,
yeah, I was one of those wankers.
Money well spent.
It's basically it was like because I spoke about Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh, it's
that was the main one. Devil's Backbone was the other Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, so he has a habit. He's the worst offender.
Yeah, and it's he's not the worst offender of directors when it comes to kids, though. I don't think.
Is it like spill? Oh dear. That's a different thesis.
I wasn't allowed to write that dissertation.
Polanski hashtag.
But yeah, no, it was basically like using fairy tale creatures and like it was like you're watching it as both an adult and a like your
inner child.
self. Yeah, because you know what's going to happen and you know it's going to be bad, but there's all of these like mystical, magical stuff. Nice and light.
Think of
what was your dissertation?
Yeah, what was yours?
Mine was on Brass Eye. Have you ever seen Brass Eye?
Oh, they had the showing of that here.
Oh, did they?
They did a live show a few months ago.
Was it?
Oh, yeah. Like they had like outtakes and stuff.
Thomas said it was one of the best things he's ever seen.
Yeah.
I saw that. I think it was like the director had like done a documentary with all these outtakes. The one I did was like the paedophile special, which is about like
that's nonsense.
That's it. Yeah. And, I wrote about that, and then I wrote about sitcoms and stuff like that, like League of Gentlemen and things like that.
Had you started doing comedy at that point, or was like you were just like interested in comedic stuff?
Definitely. I was really into like Chris Morris, who did Brass Eye, and then like loads of stuff like I can't even remember, like just loads of bits and pieces. And I did stand up much later, like when I was on my 30th birthday. It was my first gig.
No way.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. It was from like years ago. But it was like, it ended up being, I did the stand-up comedy course Viv G does.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And the people, Susie McCabe was in my class.
No way.
Yeah.
You're the same alumni.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow. Friend of the pod.
Yeah.
Friend of the pod,
She's all right.
Friend of us.
Sorry. She's good. No, she's good. I like her. She's great. But so it was good. Like we ended up, there's a few other people that are still going, but mostly in that class, everyone's kind of quite apart from us and a few other people. But no, it was good. I didn't quite know what, it takes a while to work out what stand-up character you're doing and stuff like that. So I've got my first gig on DVD because they filmed it.
Wow.
And it's, I can't watch it.
Oh,
where was it?
Where was it?
It was, what do you call that place? It's like on Waterloo Street, you know, like it's
Waterloo
like closed down now. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, I'm trying to think. As in right next to Central Station?
Yeah.
God, I have no idea.
I'll remember it in a minute. But yeah, no, I watch it now and it's just like really cringeworthy, but I do hate watching myself anyway. But yeah, no, I didn't really know what sort of stand-up I wanted to do and stuff like that, and I always kind of wanted to write comedy and stuff like that, because I always made people laugh and stuff like that. So but yeah, I was really big into comedy before that. So yeah,
it's interesting you say that, because I would say of so many comedians, in my opinion, you have such a distinct.
Yeah.
Oh really?
You are such a distinct comedian. Like I know who you are. Like as a comic, you feel so sure of. I mean, I guess that you've come to that, but like it's so like that's Paul. Like you know what you're.
Yeah. Did you ever try a sort of stage persona that's like way different from what it is now?
Yeah, it was a wee bit more like. I don't know. I wouldn't say like, not like it was one of those like complaining comedians, kind of like ranting about stuff and like just being angry and stuff like that. Yeah, we were like, but it just didn't fit me at all. And like, when I do observational stuff, people are like, what are you talking about? What?
Nobody else has that experience.
It doesn't work. Yeah, it just doesn't. So like, I kind of tried to be a bit more jollier or something, or play it a bit bigger. Like, but people, it's weird. People always say that I'm really awkward on stage, and I'm like, am I? It's just, I think like sometimes in comedy, what works, you hit upon it by accident, kind of thing, and you don't plan to. A lot of my like stuff that works the best, like I it just happened by accident.
And then you just keep doing it.
I sort of accidentally said it on stage, and it got a big laugh, and they go, oh shit, I'll keep that. But like the first few times I did stand up, people would laugh at a bit, and you go, what did I do? And you're like, what? Tell me what I did. I'll do more of it. And it's so difficult. Like, but no, it took a while. Yeah, it's difficult watching yourself. I know, like you have to kind of watch yourself to kind of learn a bit more about what you're doing or how people see you and stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
Are you married? I know you got a partner.
I'm engaged. I've been engaged for the last. Thank you. Yay. Just I got engaged like 4 years ago, and we just can't organize the wedding. We can't even think about it because you're just like we're so similar that we get stressed out really easily, and we sort of trigger each other by stressing each other out. So even just sitting down to write like the list of people we'd invite,
wow.
that just makes us go. just fuck it, we'll just do it another time. And then but in lockdown I was living by myself.
Okay.
That's tough.
Yeah, it was tough, but also at the same time, I think if I was living with other people during lockdown, I think I would find that really tough.
Yeah, there wasn't really a perfect.
This would be why you have such good chemistry with yourself, though.
That's it.
Oh
yeah,
my God, that's so true.
That's true.
Very used to your own company.
Yeah. It was. You found ways of working through it. I started doing a YouTube series impression show called That Don't Impression Paul Much. And I would chat to I'd have a comedian on, and then we would Zoom, and I would ask them to do impressions, and I did about 80 episodes, and it was so good for just helping you get through the day, because
absolutely
you just didn't even think about anything that was going on, because you were editing the show every day, and that really helped. And then it was in a bubble. They call it a bubble. I was in a bubble with Richard Brown, the comedian Richard Brown, him and his wife at the time.
That's nice.
And then I met them, and we just watched films together and stuff like that. So that was really nice.
Yeah,
it helped me through it. But if you didn't make the effort to see people,
connections,
you would really feel it. You'd be like, I'm going mad kind of thing, stuck in the house. But it was, some people are really nostalgic for it, for lockdown. I'm not at all.
Oh really? I am a bit.
I loved the first one. I thought the first one was great,
because the weather was quite good, wasn't it?
For me, there's no distinction between the two. For me, it was one long lockdown.
Same, exactly. It was a big blur.
I think partly because the people I was living with, one of them's a doctor, so we were much more I guess there was more consciousness of her going into the hospital, where there was a lot of COVID. So even in that gap, which technically wasn't a lockdown, there were still restrictions. But in that gap, we didn't change our behaviour at all. So we didn't go to restaurants or
you didn't
anything.
eat out to help out?
No, I didn't at all.
You didn't help out?
I didn't help out. Sorry, guys.
You monster.
So for me, there was no change from for that whole time.
Yeah, it was all a big long thing to me as well. And it was whenever I met up with friends and we'd go to the pub, and then I don't even know when that was, but when you were allowed to go to the pub and you had to book seats, and you had to you only allowed in for a certain amount of time.
It was
and
an hour and a half or something.
Yeah, and then but we met up, but then the next day you'd feel so down because you were like, oh, I miss my life. Is life ever coming back? It's going to be just like this forever, kind of thing.
I think the thing that I liked about it was that it was you couldn't do anything, so I didn't feel guilty for not doing anything.
Exactly. Yeah, I liked that. I had that as well. Because I feel guilty for not
being productive enough or something.
And you're well, everyone else isn't being productive, so why should I
like that.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
There was a YouTube series that was called Unus Annus.
Oh yeah.
Which it means
anus.
Unus Annus. Unus Annus. It means one hole. No, it was one.
That's better.
No, it was one. It's Latin for 1 year, and it was Markiplier and Ethan
Hawke.
Yeah.
No, Ethan.
Yeah,
Hunt.
Ethan.
That's the character from that's Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible guy.
Yeah. Anyway, they won't watch this, but they started doing this YouTube channel where they would make a video on YouTube every day for a year, and after a year they would delete everything. And it was basically to kind of show that things have an expiry date and talk about life and death and moving on from stuff. And they had done it for maybe 3 months up until lockdown, and then every day they were posting on lockdown, and Juliet and I loved that. That was amazing. They would do so much stuff, and it was stuff like really stupid, trying to teach themselves how to do martial arts. There was a bit where they had to make their own coffins, and then Markiplier goes he's in the coffin and he's at the top of the stairs, and it slides down the stairs and it gets stuck halfway, and then he just comes out the bottom of the coffin.
She's gone. She's gone.
Oh man, it's so good. And the thing is, no one else can see it because it's been deleted.
It's gone.
Yeah.
You should have
recorded
it.
Well, that's what they said. They were like, I know that we can't stop anyone from screen recording this, but that is entirely against the purpose of the thing.
Yeah,
you can't screen record life.
It's like, speaking of coffins, there's a shop, I can't remember where it is, it's near Edinburgh, but a coffin shop, but they do like like really insane coffins, like
designed coffins.
Yeah, there's like a pint of Tennant's coffin.
Wow.
And there's like an Iron Brew coffin and all. I can't remember where it is, but if you Google it, like, it'll show up.
Oh my God.
We
what would you have?
I was going to say, have you have a preference of coffin?
Oh, maybe butterbeans.
I was going to say, it has to be a tin of butterbeans.
Yeah.
Being held by Jeremy Corbyn.
I can have an expiry date on it and stuff like that to help with Jeremy Corbyn.
Imagine someone like, for whatever reason, like found, like, if the coffin survived and they find it in like hundreds of years.
Thousands of years. What happened here? This is our God.
They worship butterbeans.
What would you guys have?
Oh God!
Packet of salt and vinegar McCoys.
Yeah,
nice, good choice. Yeah. Salt and vinegar McCoys.
It has to be something. I guess it doesn't have to be.
Could you Cowboy Lager? Do you still have
True,
Cowboy Lager?
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
you can get a pint of it here.
Yeah.
What would you be?
Oh, I have no idea. I know I should have a fun answer for that. What do I like?
Pair of your glasses.
A pair of my glasses.
Mm-hmm.
How would I?
Big.
Oh, like a really big pair. I don't know. That feels. It's very people could see me.
It
Glasses
probably
case?
be in a tin of normal butterbeans.
Butterbeans.
It's
That's normal.
It's what coffin shape you would be, like what coffin.
It doesn't have to be. It's not official. This isn't going to be like
This is a big commitment,
we're
Paul.
not going to hold you to
I'm
it.
hoping I've got another 40
Speak
years
to
in
your
me,
loved
yeah?
ones and say,
Who knows
like,
who I'll be in
this
40
is what he
years.
wanted. You know?
Oh, I think only 4. I mean, my feeling on birthdays is that I'm not worried until I get to an age that I feel like I can't do that number again. So when I got 30, it's like, I'll do another 30. I'm going to make it to 60.
Oh.
When I get to like, I'll be 35 this year. I think I'll probably make it to 70. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I think when I get to 40, I'm going to be like, I might not make it to 80. I don't know how
That's
it's going to go.
really stressful and horrible. to
Well,
think
I
about.
don't
But it's
like
not a
that.
problem until I get to 40. I'm fine just now. I don't care until I'm there.
Not that long away.
Please don't wish
It's
my life
scary.
away.
It's so scary. Isn't
I
it?
just spat in Molly's
It's
face.
so scary. I remember someone hit 35 and she said, in another 35 years, I'll be 70.
Yeah,
And
it's
like,
horrible.
that's not the way to think about it.
No,
because
it's
In
not.
fairness, though, when you think about that 35 years, if you're comparing it to
It's
the
quite
previous one
long.
you just did,
Yeah.
a solid at least 5 or 6 of those the first time round. I
Yeah.
fucking
Don't
know.
even
They don't
remember.
count. So
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
like
yeah,
they're
yeah.
bonus years I'm getting
Yeah.
next time
Yeah,
round,
yeah, yeah.
and I wasted a lot of the rest of it. So
Don't
like,
say that. I don't think you did.
Well, I mean, but time goes quicker when you get older as well. That's the
true.
problem. I'm sorry.
But does it? If you, because
I can really bore you on this because I saw a show about this.
the thing
Oh,
about
yeah.
like if you do more novel things.
No, so here's the thing, right? There's
No.
a show. No, well, there's a thing. Sorry, there's a show we used to do at the Fringe called The Cabaret of Dangerous Ideas, right?
Oh, because you did theatre and stuff.
So yeah, my
yeah.
theatre background, yeah. So we did a show called The Cabaret of Dangerous Ideas, and what that show was, it was academics, a bit like the Bright Club, which we sometimes do, but we'd get an academic and they would come in and they basically talk about their area of expertise. But Susan Morrison is on stage with them and
Like
sort of
the
helps
host.
kind of host it, and it's still happening. It's happening again this year at the Fringe.
Okay.
It's not called The Cabaret. They've changed the name of it this year. That's a whole thing I'll talk about later on. They've changed the name of it, but it's still happening and it's great. And there was a guy who did one of these, and his show was all about, it was called What Keeps You Sharp. And the whole story was, and his whole thing was about your brain as you get older and how to keep yourself sharp as you age, right?
Yeah.
But he did this thing where he was talking about like, there are like, I can't remember the number. It wasn't my show, and clearly I'm not keeping my brain sharp. But he was talking about like all the things that like how they categorized your brain. So it's like you had like your word skills, your number skills, your speed of thinking, your problem solving ability, all these different things. And he was saying like, you'd ask the audience like, what do you think you lose first? And the first thing to go is your speed of thinking, as in how
yes.
quickly you think.
Yeah.
And it like declines rapidly at the age of like 18 to 21. It like plummets,
Yeah,
right? But
yeah.
your problem solving
nice.
abilities, but your problem solving abilities are inversely proportionate to that.
Yeah.
And he was saying the reason this happens, what happened?
I just
What's
did
the
Molly's
problem?
favorite joke.
It's a good joke.
He was saying that the reason that happens is because it's like evolutionary. Like when you're young,
need
you
to
have
learn
no
really
experience,
fast.
so you have to
Yeah.
think quickly because shit's going on. You don't know what to do.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
as you get older and you are like, this has happened before, I know how to deal with this. So your problem solving is better, but you don't think as quickly. And so
I see.
literally time passes slower for you because your brain is working
Faster for you.
Well, yeah, because your brain is working slower, therefore you experience time. So actually, time does pass quicker when you get older because your brain is not working as quickly.
Oh, interesting.
So actually, you do. Like it's when
Yeah.
you're a kid and like summer lasts forever, and now it's like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
that
But
it's
can
literally how you
you,
experienced
if
it.
you like experience novel things more, does that like effectively Could it like slow down your experience of time?
I do think that helps because you're kind of improving your problem solving ability. But what was interesting, the last thing to go, I don't know how interesting this is. Also,
it's very interesting.
Dr. Alan Gow is the guy that did this, and he's absolutely fantastic. But like,
I've heard of him.
Alan Gow?
Alan Gow, Dr. Alan Gow. Right. He said, and the last thing that goes is your language skill, and that is why you get people who have like dementia, and they can have a full conversation with you,
but they forgot a word.
But it means nothing. Yeah. But they can they know how to put sentences together. They know how to form things that make sense in language, but they don't have that ability. Like they actually don't. They don't have the rest of their cognitive skills going on.
So that's why a lot of people learn languages to that
helps. Yeah, there's all these things you're saying, like if you learn a language, if you learn a musical instrument, if you but also just social interactions are really good for it. And like there's so many. As a lot of things are obvious, like have a good diet, all this stuff. But there's other things you can't do anything about, and that speed of thinking thing is really interesting. I was thinking about that like when I'm like with my nieces and nephews who are like 4 years old. I'm like, wow, like for me this was like I'll be 2 seconds for them. It's like, but that's forever. It's forever for them.
It's weird because in my work they did this test where like one of those ones was like John has 2 oranges and he wears his grey cardigan on this day on Tuesdays and not on Thursdays, and you had to like answer a series of questions and we did all right on it, but then they said, oh, how do you think like kids would do on this? And we were all thinking, oh, kids, they can't like answer, they have no attention span, and they all did like scored way higher than any of us. And apparently because they can just I don't know.
They have the ability to take in like more information.
Yeah, maybe. That's it. Because they're probably inundated with information and they can hold it all. So
I saw a thing like where if they show like pictures of monkeys' faces to babies, they can differentiate. They can like recognize different faces of monkeys. Wow. So they can just know, because when you're like a baby, it's like with people like. We are having an innate ability to do this, but because we see humans, we don't do it with monkeys. But monkeys, if you give it to a kid, they can go, I know this one, I know this one.
Isn't that the thing? It's like as a baby, you're primed to learn anything, and then so like like language, any that kind of thing, recognizing things, and then as you get older, the abilities drop away slowly.
I think it's because like, your brain's sort of like prioritizing things that are actually important. Like this is what you need. You don't need that anymore.
Exactly. So like we could have at one point been good at that, but
there is, as babies, there's like. Why are you laughing already?
I don't know. I'm just laughing at like, what has this become? This podcast.
I was trying.
This is a great comedy.
No, we're the Joe Rogan of the left.
This is what it should be about.
The Joe Rogan of the left.
Yeah. That's us.
Brother.
But Jamie, pull that up.
He's gone like.
Sorry, carry on.
Joe Rogan. Yeah, I should have got some tats. Has he got tattoos?
Probably.
I don't know. I've never listened to this show.
Some weights.
You don't need to.
Smoke weed
don't
on that.
seem like the clientele for Joe Rogan. I'm not gonna lie.
No,
I'm okay for drugs, thanks.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
There's when babies are babies, like small ones, infants.
Small babies. Those massive giant babies you see walking around.
But I don't know the science behind it.
Yeah.
But when babies are infants, there's up until a certain point, baby can't differentiate.
baby can't sit in the corner. Don't put baby in the corner.
No, because they say like
baby can't. It's like baby can't focus no more.
Oh fuck, my language is gone.
That's it. It's over. It's the last thing to go. You're done.
Yeah.
Baby can't. Like if you're talking about mum and baby.
Oh, mum! I said baby can't do this.
But I've tried. This is the only time in the podcast that I've tried to be a little bit clever.
Go for it. I believe in you.
In the context of mum and baby.
So baby or mum and baby?
Mum.
Baby can't differentiate between themselves and mum.
Yes, that's true.
Oh yeah.
You got there. You got there.
Isn't it this sort of Freudian thing of like baby and mama? This is going to look terrible, like that we're trying to be intellectual. There's other podcasts that are
Bring
experts
it back
on
to our
this.
dissertation.
Yeah. It's something like that. Anyway.
Oh baby.
No, I am. What was I going to say? Yeah, because the thing about I got a lift with a taxi driver. I got a lift with a taxi driver. He was giving me a lift. He wasn't like, I didn't just go, oh, can I park with as well? And he said that he started doing taxi driving after he retired because he wanted to see people, because he's known so many people who, when they retire, that's you
decline.
Yeah, your brain just goes, and then they usually die quite quickly. So that's what I'm worried about, like being in the house too much.
Right. The generation we are, and I'm also older than both of you.
We're never going to be able to retire.
So that's it. So
I'll
that's
be working here for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind.
My coffin would be a Lightning McQueen.
Oh, back to coffins.
Lightning McQueen.
A what?
Lightning McQueen.
The car from Cars.
The Cars. Yeah.
No one ever asked me, so.
Sorry.
Chow.
That's fine. So you must enjoy Chris Thorburns bit about cars. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah. When he does the song.
He does that as well, but
Chris is going to be watching this unless he does, so you better remember his routine. Go.
He does. Do you know? He does a bit about how it's confusing because there's cars. There's the Pope mobile.
And then the Pope is inside the Pope mobile.
So
and he's the Pope in the car world,
who's also a car.
But who's the Pope?
Who's going in the Pope mobile?
Paul, do you remember the first time you ever played the stand in like Glasgow or Edinburgh, anywhere?
Yeah, it was actually terrifying because I was like, oh shit, this is actually real now. Because I've been doing gigs for a few months and I'd mostly been doing pubs and stuff like that, playing to like hardly anyone. And then once you come in here, it's like, oh shit, this is actually a proper comedy venue, and people are like taking notes and stuff like that. My feedback was kind of not good.
Oh no!
I don't know who. I think the guy who it was at the time, he since learned to like me. Learned to like me. He came to like my act, but he was like, he said, it's just literally a man on stage going, oh. And,
That's right, it's so
in fairness,
good.
Paul, that is what you're acting, but it's very good. It's very cute.
But he said like, it's like a man just mumbling, but not in a funny way. And it's like, which was like, oh, so there is a funny way to do it. I was like, I'm gonna find out the funny way. So eventually, like, he liked my act afterwards, like eventually. But no, I didn't really know what I was doing. I think at the time everyone was like being like Stuart Lee a wee bit, stuff like that, and influenced by that. And it was like early. It was like 2012, something like that. But no, I had a really good time. It was a Red Raw, and then I did a few Red Raws after that, and then moved up to weekends and stuff. But it was really scary doing stand up because I was working full time and then doing that in the evenings, which obviously loads of people have to go through that. But I found it really overwhelming because you'd be like working in an office or a call center and then coming out and kind of just I just find it, and then going back into work the next day.
Yeah, after sort of emotionally draining evening.
No, I never told anyone I did stand up. They found out I don't know how they found out. Someone saw me or something like that, or on Facebook, or someone went to a gig. And it's always really, I'm always terrified when like your manager says, oh, I'm gonna come to your gig or whatever, or if they see you on YouTube. I'm sure like they've looked me up and watched me and stuff like that, but people have come from my work and they've come quite a few times to see my show and stuff like that, and they're really supportive and all, so it's really nice. But the first I was just overwhelmed a bit because it's just a bit exhausting.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
And like you're trying to work out what kind of act am I?
Yeah.
And eventually
in front of everyone. You know, you're trying to work out in front of like 200 people.
What freaked me out was being seen. I was like, oh shit, people are looking at me. People can see every bit of, not every bit, but not like that. I'm not naked. But like they're just like, they can, and I was like, that freaked me out. I was like, because I'm sort of a bit shy and like, so that was a bit scary, but then you get used to it, and then I would like drink before going on stage and stuff like that, and that was not really a good idea, and I think it was just so nervous. You just think, I'll just drink it.
A lot of people,
it's such a weird
do that.
So feeling all those feelings, what is it? I mean, I'm assuming the answer is when they laugh it feels good, but what made you keep going on stage if you're feeling like that?
It's just the attention, just like getting attention.
And that's so weird to be shy and be I'm shy, don't look at me, but please.
Yeah,
also.
it's so weird. Like, it's so weird because like you want attention, but on your terms. Kind of
fair
thing.
enough.
Right, yeah.
And it is embarrassing, like going on stage when you don't quite know what your act is or what your material is. You come off and you think, you'd say to people like, was that okay? Did I just massively offend everyone, or did I like, say something really bad? And So it's still like a bit weird sometimes when you come off stage and you don't quite know how it went, or you don't know, because when you're doing new stuff,
I guess with like works in progress and stuff, that must be quite the first time you say something to an audience must be pretty terrifying, because you're like, well, I think this is funny, but
it's a bit embarrassing, like, because you're like, especially if people have seen you before and they think, he's good, or they like you, and then you go on stage and you say something really bad and they go, I thought he was good. It's like, he doesn't have a fucking clue what he's doing. But like so many people, like Daniel Sloss talked about doing his work in progress, where he talked about misogyny and the comedy and all. And he said when he did his work in progress, it was like he made so many like stupid mistakes, like, assumptions, and he had to get feedback from people telling him, that's maybe don't do this bit, or maybe, so he was like constantly, he was sort of stepping on landmines a wee bit. There's like just making stupid comments and things like that. But I think that's what he said. But so I was a wee bit like worried about saying the wrong thing on stage. And I think the thing that kept me going was kind of, I did say to someone, I'm thinking of quitting, I think, and he said to me like, well, what if I said to you right now, you can't do stand-up comedy anymore? And I was like, what would you say? And I said, I liked doing that. I want to do this. It was like, so it was like, I was like, I want to do more. Please let me do more. And it's kind of,
give me it.
Yeah, please. No, don't do that. So I just kept going, and like, eventually just kind of found an act that I was kind of happy with and stuff. Yeah. So, yeah.
And it's so funny.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you have any like, do you draw obviously no one ever steals material. Do you draw influence from anyone in particular? Do you feel there's anyone that's like you're sort of like, this is the sort of like, not well, maybe your comedy heroes, I suppose, but are like people that are like strong influences on your sort of your writing and your style and your...
It's kind of like Steve Coogan.
Sure.
I kind of just
Steve
like,
Coogan.
his characters are so like,
so funny.
Mainly Alan Partridge. What was that?
It's so funny.
It's just like,
really
I love just the sort of, there's a bit of a tragedy to his characters.
Yeah, they're definitely,
and they're a bit like, they're unaware or something. They're
that's what I was going to say. There's like tragedy they don't know what the viewer knows. The character doesn't know what the viewer knows.
And they're kind of like, they allude to stuff that's happening off screen or off stage, and it builds an image in your mind where like Alan Partridge talks about his wife. Yeah. And like, or something like that. But they're always like good jokes. Mm-hmm. There's always quite funny jokes. Yeah. It's just that sort of stuff. There's like a sadness to his character, which I quite like. And what were you gonna say something? No?
I agree. I think we were talking about clowns, and that I think clowning is funny, but there's a particular type of clown that I find even funnier, and that's the clowns that have like that element that they could turn. They've got like a darkness to them. Joe Kent Walters there as Frankie Monroe.
Yeah.
They are quite scary.
Yeah.
And like, I guess it's kind of League of Gentlemen. Like they are making you laugh, but they could switch at any moment. Yeah. And then I think with Steve Coogan and Alan Partridge, like, because they're symbiotic, he's just a bit of a loser, and that's like he's just, you just kind of feel a bit bad for him, and it's really awkward, and there's like there's so many more layers to it than just him being a bit of a tit.
Because you don't hate him. You sort of feel
you feel like you get it.
Like you get why really bad for him. Like,
he sort of lets little tragic things slip out.
Yeah.
And he's got this facade of like being really happy, and like, but he's actually like, there's this bitterness underneath, and it's quite like George from Seinfeld a bit, like, he's quite a petty little character and stuff like that. Also, like growing up, Eddie Izzard was just, I loved just the way Eddie Izzard would just, it seemed as if that comedy was just made especially for me. It was like,
I think I remember feeling that with Eddie Izzard.
It was like, I've never seen an act like this that just sort of
just like pulling things, it's seemingly pulling things out of,
and it just like tapped, it just hit your funny bone and just tapped directly into your brain. It was almost like just, Eddie Izzard's another act that does a lot of like noises and
Yeah.
I still just love the noise that they do when they do bees. I always really enjoyed that noise.
It's
good bees.
And Eddie Izzard is
I'm covered in bees. That's good stuff.
What was I'm a beekeeper. I want to keep bees. I don't want them to get away. I want to keep them. But Eddie Izzard is like I saw them do a set a few years ago in Glasgow. It was like a best of thing, and I've seen them like 1999 or 2000 or something. But like Eddie Izzard, I think would have been like had some clown training, I believe.
Maybe.
As well, perhaps.
Was Eddie Izzard not a street performer? I'm
sure
that was a big
that's
thing.
it. Yeah, they was on like the bike and all.
Yeah,
they
did
like the bike.
They were
Yeah,
definitely
during
a street
Fringe. Yeah,
Damn.
and they were they did that for a long time, and they were told like they were really unfunny for a long time, but then eventually it just clicked in. They would kind of own their unfunniness.
I guess sometimes people just sort of, I've had other comedians have said this to me before, like in a weird way, not in any sort of arrogance, but like they knew that they were funny.
Yeah, they just kept
I
going
just need
with
to
it.
work out how to make you realise that, and then they suddenly click it and it works, and then it just goes, oh yeah, and then it's just about getting that out. Like they knew they could do it. It was just about finding the
because that's the
way.
opposite of me. Because I would not stick with things. I still don't stick with stuff.
Sure.
If something's not working, I just drop it and move on to something else.
That's a pragmatic approach. I think I'm okay with that. That's fine.
But like I think Stuart Lee's a bit like that. Like he was in the I don't know, like years ago he would do shows and the audience was just like, this is shit. And he would like, no, I need to stick with it and make it even slower and
I do
drag
think
it
that's
out.
so funny just to like say the same thing basically over and over again.
Yeah.
It's so interesting, like I guess psychologically to see a crowd or be in the crowd where it's like the first time it's funny, the second time it's like, okay, we've heard it, and then it becomes actively boring, and then suddenly for some reason it gets funny again. That's
amazing.
so cool.
I know.
Yeah, it's like so interesting.
And it's weird seeing audiences that really don't like Stuart Lee at the Fringe and stuff like that, and you're kind of. It's a wee bit. His comedy's a bit annoying. It's like irritating,
it's
but
like
in a good way. It's kind of
Yeah.
like the repetitiveness. And all
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
so.
But I would see what you were saying about like the sadness of like Alan Partridge or whatever. I think there's like this stuff that you do in your comedy where it's like the pull back and reveal, I guess. Is that like, so you say one thing that's like funny and then there's like a pause and then you actually say the punchline, and quite often the punchline's kind of a bit, it makes it seem like the first thing's a bit sad actually.
Yeah definitely.
It's really good.
I like the whole, there's loads of comedy I like where it's kind of like a little magic trick almost, like you sort of what is it where you like draw attention to something over here, but it's actually over here.
Oh, like sleight of hand thing.
It's like that where you're sort of making them think something and then you
distract them with this.
Misdirection.
Misdirection.
That's it.
That's the one.
I love doing that. Like there's so many I can't even really think of the comedians that do that, but I think
I don't want to burn your
really
material,
good.
but that's like the one you do with it's about the internet, and it's like it's your mum that's
looking
at
it's my mum looking at it.
On the porn. That's funny every time.
Yeah.
I love doing that. I love like just little surprises and stuff like that.
And
There's
it really,
so many
you can see that
comedians.
the audience are sort of delighted by it as well. Like, when they laugh and then
because
they're like,
they like to be like surprised, like
I don't like I sort of I'm probably better at doing little short jokes rather than stories, longer stuff, but I have enjoyed doing Fringe shows because it's like a longer,
like more time to get out.
Yeah, you can sort of do that, but when I'm doing a club set, it's kind of, it needs to be like shorter bits and stuff like that.
It's good.
You mentioned like your comedy character a lot, and obviously to put like Alan Partridge and stuff. Like, how much of you is you on stage? Like, how much of it is just like, how much of that is a character?
It's really weird. It's like a lot of some of the stuff I say isn't 100% true and stuff.
What?
Yeah, I know.
You don't get naked in Mars.
Is this true?
It's the thing, like I talk about doing badly at a gong show where I did very
so
But I heard about comedians traveling from Glasgow to Manchester, and they got up on stage, and as soon as the audience heard the Glasgow accent, they gonged them off.
Wow.
Because they knew that they were all traveling from Scotland, so they thought it'd be
just
funny
it's a mean thing. Funny mean. Oh.
So, but when I did the gong show, I did actually quite well. But it's funnier if you don't do well and stuff like that. And so it's really difficult. It's hard, like when people come up to me after gigs, I'm worried that they think I'm going to be like I am on stage, and I'm not really. And so, but I think it's probably a wee bit like. It's like Alan Partridge and Steve Coogan. He talks about how all his characters, there's a little bit of Steve Coogan in them, and they're sort of exaggerated versions of, so that it's probably a more exaggerated version of myself.
Sure.
So sometimes it's kind of, when I'm talking to people off stage, they laugh at something I say, and I'm like, I wasn't funny.
I was just talking.
My delivery, and it's like a wee bit like, oh, I wasn't actually doing it better or anything like that.
I'm not on right now.
Yeah. But I think it's just because I have like maybe a deadpan way of talking and stuff.
Yeah. I do if you, because of the doing the on stage.
Yeah.
If I was talking to you off stage and if you made a noise like that, I would probably just laugh. Even if it wasn't like you were genuinely just pausing.
It kind of comes from, I think I have like a sort of I don't have an officially have a stutter or anything like that, but when I'm on stage I sort of stutter a wee bit. And Alan Partridge does that a wee bit. Steve Coogan's characters stutter a wee bit, and it's sort of a wee bit like when I'm trying to think of what to say.
It's like gives you time.
And then, or just nerves, and I do that a wee bit where I'm trying to think of what to say, or I'm maybe backtracking on what I say because I'm unsure of what I'm saying.
But not with Alan Partridge. This is the
Alan Partridge podcast.
Yeah.
But
he's a great character.
Steve Coogan, maybe you told me this, but
hope it's true.
Apparently, when they're rehearsing, when he's rehearsing with like his screen partners and stuff, he has every single beat down, and he's like, I'm not going to interrupt. I'm going to interrupt you on the second syllable of that word. And like the stuff where he's like, I think he's eating some like fruit. He's had like chopped orange in a yogurt, and he's eating it, but he's kind of like biting it half off, and it's like really gross, and he's just really and it's just silence. It's like in Mid Morning Matters, he does that a lot. But when they practice, he's like, I'm going to interrupt you on this beat, and I'm going to do it this many times, and it's like to the minute.
That's intense.
It pays off.
I mean, it does. Yeah.
There's like a Mid Morning Matters, I think it's the first episode where he's talking about he's getting people to say their favorite gravies or something like that.
No, it's their favorite sauce.
And then someone says Bisto, and he goes, that's a gravy.
That's a brand.
And then they're about to start the show, and he goes, good morning, and then the guy just says Bisto or something like that, and he just like has to and it's like apparently they timed that so just as like in between words, the timing's so good.
Wow.
He's like, valid. That's a condiment. Relish. There's also, I can't remember what he says when he says something he says an idiom. And then the caller goes like, you're an idiot. And then he's like, no, an idiom. How could you're the idiot for not knowing when I'm saying an M and not a T. You
come.
You massive mwam. It's so good.
And then the guy goes, well, you're a prick. And then he goes, right. And he turns it off. I think I watched loads of Alan Partridge as a teenager, and The Fast Show, which is kind of The Fast Show. Did you ever watch that?
I watched Fast Show a lot.
Because it had loads of tragic characters in it. Loads of like, and League of Gentlemen has loads of like tragic, quite sad characters in it, and it's just like, I don't know, something you sort of drawn to it. And,
I suppose like everybody has some kind of tragedy in their life. It's a universal experience.
Not me.
Oh, obviously. But there's like a you can find relatability in it, even if you've not exactly experienced what they're doing.
Well, like with writing, I kind of started like, I had a bit of a freak out with like writer's block, and I didn't quite know how to write, and I did sort of what Steve Coogan did, where he films themselves like practicing and rehearsing, and then they like add stuff from the rehearsals and stuff like that. I sort of filmed myself talking to the camera and doing stand-up, and then I've started like recording myself when I go for walks.
Oh, really?
Because someone told me that, some people try to sit down and write, and I just can't really do it. So I've started going for walks and just recording myself with my AirPods.
I suppose like if writing something down and reading it or whatever is completely different from the experience of actually doing stand-up on stage. Like speaking is much more similar to what you would be, how things are said and everything.
Because delivery is kind of
that's like where the comedy
important.
is.
We talked about this with Roscoe actually when he was on the pod. Tom Stade does it in the car.
Yeah, and also MC Hammersmith talked about doing it in the car as well.
MC Hammersmith does it in the car as well. I think
the
car is a good place to do it.
Yeah.
Do you drive?
I do, but I don't have a car. But I could steal one. I could steal Tom Stade's car.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear Tom Stade's
He's probably got a
recordings.
recording set up.
He's got like a camera and an LED light and everything.
Hey guys.
I can't do Tom Stade. He's like.
We should start getting every guest to do their best Tom impression.
Well,
Roscoe's Tom impression is unbelievably
good. Who was it? Gareth Waugh did a really good Tom Stade.
Oh, I can imagine. He spent a lot of time with Tom Stade.
And who was it? Stu Murphy did a really good Tom Stade.
I can imagine.
Stu Murphy's quite good at impressions.
Do you do any impressions?
Kind of. I tried to do. I've been working on a Mark Wahlberg impression. Do you know Mark
Wahlberg?
Why?
He's like sounds out of breath and like angry. He's sort of like, hey. He's like, hey guys, what's up? You know, kind of like, hey, I'll see you later. He's kind of like that.
That's actually such a good.
That's very good.
But Joe, the wee man does a really good Joe Heenan impression, which I can't really even do. But I took it out of the episode, and then like I put it up because I was scared that Joe Heenan might not like it, but he did like it. I can't really do many impressions.
Joe Heenan's quite good at impressions as well.
He's
actually
brilliant. Yeah, he like does a Richard Ayoade impression.
Yeah,
he does a good Trump.
He's been doing Trump.
Oh, does he true Trump?
He's been doing Trump a bit. It's funny with impressionism, obviously, because you've done impressionism, not art, like not money, but like you did the whole thing about impressionists, and impressions is not a massive thing in comedy. Weirdly, even though there was like currently, I mean, there was like that, like dead ringers and stuff, but there is a sort of fairly young upcoming comedian, Jack Brookmeyer, who does. He's got some class impressions, and they're really genuinely very good.
His Billy Connolly is really good.
His Trump is good, but what I think is interesting about him, and this is not a diss to anyone, there's plenty of people doing good Trump material, but some Trump material is a bit like. I bet you've heard him, but he's doing something really interesting with it, and I think that's really cool. And I think that's
because he sort of talks about him. He basically says, you know, if Trump was like Hitler, or
it's like,
like
if Hitler, because you only ever hear Hitler speaking in German, like what would it be like if he spoke English? Yeah, it'd be like Trump.
I remember there's like an AI video that translates Hitler. It does Hitler's voice but in English.
Oh,
is it scary?
Yeah, does it sound like Farage?
Yeah, well, like sometimes when you look at stuff on YouTube, you think, should I be looking?
Yeah.
Should I be giving like Hitler the views? Yeah. You know, like, but like you just sort of like. I remember like there's a video of him like talking in his normal voice, which is
like
kind of not shouting. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if I should be.
Have you read Mein Kampf?
No, not recently. No. Have you? Have you read Mein Kampf?
No, I haven't read it myself. No,
is it like no? I'll just get the audio audible version.
With impressions though, I wonder if there's, because I do think it used to be a bigger thing.
Yeah,
but I wonder if it goes like it ebbs and flows
cycles
like in relation to how politics is.
Yeah,
because satire, people say that satire is harder to do now because of the ridiculousness of the state of the world.
Because Trump is so
and impressions
ridiculous.
sort of can come into satire.
I also think there's a weird thing going on with like specifically the Labour Party, where they've all got this blocked nose voice. Like
the nasal thing.
Let me be clear.
So like Keir Starmer's like, I'm the and then you've got what's her face, the
Rachel Reeves.
She's also got that and then it's all started with Ed Miliband, who was like,
do you think they're doing it deliberately?
I'm topping off. Hell yeah, I'm topping off. Like that. I'm topping off. Remember, like, and they've all got that. It's like they've all.
That's interesting.
And even Wes Streeton's got it. They've all got this.
I hate them all. Ed Miliband, I don't hate, but it's whatever. But everyone else, fucking hell. Sorry, we're not getting political, but
I mean, Keir Starmer is one of the least likable people.
Yeah.
Sir Keir Starmer, thank you very much.
Fucking hell. I mean,
I
don't think anyone really, like, it's weird.
It's depressing.
Like, it's so bad. Yeah, Rachel Reeves is really bad, and Wes Streeton is just.
Oh, Wes Streeton's evil.
He has like the energy of like a school prefect.
He
or
does.
something.
I'm a prefect.
name, rank or whatever. Like that.
I mean, you do have like political opinions. You're wearing a peace badge there, but you don't tend
allegedly.
You don't really bring politics into your stuff. Have you ever thought about it, or
no? Because a wee bit, but I feel a wee bit like people are so inundated with politics.
Sure.
Yeah,
and it's like they come out and for a night out, and they kind of don't want you ranting at you, and it's like I think so many people have rants on social media, and it's a bit you got a bit of fatigue from it, and I don't want to be shouting and telling people what they should think. And it also I worry that I don't want people to have a bad time, and also I don't want to get into arguments with people.
Sure.
Because I might be asked to defend my beliefs, and then I'm like, oh shit, oh dear, I don't really want to have this conversation and stuff like that. And I don't want to so I have it I remember in the past someone followed me on Twitter after seeing my act. He took a photo or something of, and then he followed me, and then I saw in his bio it said free Tommy Robinson.
Oh
and I
my
was
god!
Oh no, shit. So I was like, yeah. So maybe my stuff is a wee bit apolitical, and I think sometimes I'll do loads of comedy that is a bit apolitical and stuff. And I do love loads of comedy that is political, like Nish Kumar or Josie Long. And I wish that I sort of wish sometimes I had the guts to do it, but
there's loads of people that don't do political.
Yeah.
Also satire and satire's hard.
It's difficult.
And also everything changes so fast.
Yeah.
That you can't one joke that you did one week might not work the next week.
Yeah.
But I also think I don't know. I think I think it has difficult. I don't think it's necessary to be political.
I think there's particularly on a mixed bill show, you see so much and I think that a lot of it, particularly with how the world is now, I think we're allowed to have a little bit of an escape from it. And it is important to talk about stuff, and it is important to challenge your beliefs and challenge other people's batshit stuff. We can also leave it alone for a bit. Otherwise it's just exhausting. There's too much.
I also think if you're not saying something that's a fresh perspective, you're kind of quite often preaching to the converted. You're not achieving anything necessarily. Sometimes you can. I think comedy can be a good vehicle to to potentially make change, or at least make people change their minds about stuff. But if all you're doing is talking about your political beliefs on stage, and actually that's not having an impact on the world, it's also it's just making you feel good.
If you're getting more claps than laughs,
people
might agree with you. It doesn't mean you're funny.
I think a lot of I don't know. I try to be my comedy tries to be quite gentle. Is that? I don't know. Even when
it's quite silly if you don't, and in a good way. I mean, I think silly is my favorite kind of comedy.
I kind of feel like I just want to be nice on stage and kind of, and I think if there's people, I don't know what I'm trying to say. No, I think if people are shouting on stage, I don't know, it's a bit, I don't know, it's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
And I don't know if comedy, maybe it does change people's minds about things and stuff, or maybe it's a tough question, but I think I'm always worried about maybe I'm in the wrong, with my politics, and maybe I don't want to end up.
But I think that's quite a healthy way to feel. I mean, dogma's always quite dangerous. So to have
I worry sometimes that because I see people who are on the opposite side of the spectrum from me, and I'm like, how can they not realize that they're wrong? And then I'm like, they think the same about me. And
I could so easily have got stuff wrong, and I've got stuff wrong on Twitter before. I've looked at stuff and it turns out to not be true or something like that, or I've retweeted something. And also all my political stuff that I'm not on Twitter anymore, but the stuff that I put on Twitter that was political, where I'm ranting at stuff, I just end up angry after it when I see Keir Starmer or something, or Nigel Farage. I'm so sorry. No, cut out the sir. But I just end up, it's so frustrating and angry, and I don't really want to go down the rabbit hole of getting really angry, and also it doesn't really get much interactions. I think people are oh, Paul's having a rant again. Kind of so.
Because everyone on Twitter does that or did that.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah. But I'll maybe just leave it to the people who are good at that, and good at satire and stuff like that. And I do,
I think that's a good take though, to have it as if you're worried about getting things wrong. Not many people acknowledge that they have got things wrong, and I think
double down.
I think it's an important political position to be this is what I believe
right now.
And we've said stuff because lefties the
Could never
snowflakes.
be me.
Yeah. We a lot of the time the right like spout such horseshit.
Yeah.
Like, and they just keep saying stuff, and it's either because they want to incite like anger from the left or fear from the right, or like all this whatever they're doing, they're just spouting horse.
Yeah.
And with the left, we can't make mistakes with what we say because we're constantly calling out stuff for them to be like, that's not true, and where are your facts and all of this, and like this whole
Quote
fake news stuff.
yeah.
And then anytime that the left make a mistake, the right are like, oh, you made a mistake, that.
Yeah.
And so we've started saying this thing where it's like, I'm not sure I believe this yet, but because we're so frightened to say anything because we want to make sure that we're totally right. And just, we're all human. We do make mistakes, and there's stuff that we have found that we have an emotional response to that we are like, that's,
want to talk about
if
it,
that's true,
then
that's awful. Then what are we talking about? And then I don't know. See, smart.
Oh, finally.
I've done it. Like, I've got really angry.
Baby didn't know politics.
I know, like they always say, oh, the left can never come together because they're always fighting amongst each other and they're divided and all. And it's true, but I've done it. Like, I've got angry at people, like, oh, why didn't you get behind Jeremy Corbyn? Yo, you betrayed the left and all that shit. And it's like, and you look back and you go, oh, it's just you fell into the right's trap.
There's a poet / comedian called Jim Monaghan from Glasgow.
Oh, he's great.
And Jim does a really good poem
Jim.
called Unity on the Left, and it's basically about a meeting of like all the sort of left wing factions all trying, and why they all fall out with each other, and why they're like, well, I'm not coming, and it's genuinely so fun. The final line of the poem is like, and there's nothing so divisive as unity on the left. It's a really good poem. If you look it up, I'm sure it's on the internet, and buy Jim's book. He's a great guy, and if you get a chance to see him, he's very good.
He's really good.
How long have we been going?
I think we're coming close to the end of our time. So
Molly's question.
Two things before we go. I guess one thing is it's because we don't know when this is going to come out. It's always a chance to plug a show. I think the best way to plug will be a Fringe show. Yeah, because it's likely to come out before then.
Yeah.
What are you doing for the Fringe?
I'm doing a whip. Whip. And it's called Harder, Better, Faster, Polar. I'm quite proud of that title.
Very good.
The last one, the one 2 years ago, was called Better Paul Paul. And I did have one called Now That's What I Paul McDaniel, which is quite good. Yeah.
I love that.
That was and I was trying to ask people. Chris Thorburn came up with I just paused to say McDaniel. I don't know.
That's great.
Maybe I could use the next year's one. But yeah, it's kind of about it's sort of about loneliness and being around people, and kind of you need to be around people, but at the same time people annoy you and kind of like, oh, I've struggled, not you guys, but I'm just like, yeah, so it's gonna be I did a whip in the Glasgow Comedy Festival and I had a really good time doing that, so I'm gonna be doing that at the Stand too, and I think it's on the 18th and 19th of August. I think that's a Monday and Tuesday.
If you check our website, it'll be on the Stand website.
Yeah, so please come along to that.
I've thought of another one for when you start to explore your sexuality. You could do Paul Me by McDaniel.
Oh, that's good.
That's quite good.
I like that. That's
Paul
good,
Me
and it's
by
also a great
McDaniel.
film.
It is good. I love that film.
Except Armie Hammer became like a cannibal.
Oh yeah, that's
But
right.
we don't
have time.
Do you have a question?
We'll get into that.
You could also plug your podcast.
Oh yeah, I do.
Me Fast, Me Furious.
Me Fast, You Furious. Yeah. Do you want to do that again? Me Fast, You Furious. I do with Mara Joy, another great comedian, and we talk about the Fast and the Furious films. I've never seen them. She's seen all of them. There's 10, and then there's one spin-off, Hobbs and Shaw, and then there's like other films that are in the universe, and they're currently working. Yeah, I'd seen Mara do a set about the Fast and the Furious and all the names of the films, which are really complicated, and I thought it'd be fun to do that and to watch those films.
Yeah.
And
so have you now seen them all?
No, I've seen the first 8, and then I've seen Hobbs and Shaw.
Is it true? I'm asking this because now I'm assuming you're an expert on the thing. Is it true that the reason why the Rock the Dwayne Johnson and
Rock the Dwayne Johnson.
And the other
Rock
guy,
the Baby Johnson.
Rock the Baby Johnson.
I was thinking Rock the Casbah.
Vin Diesel.
And Vin Diesel. Is it true that like they both have this weird thing in their contract that they're not allowed to lose a fight?
Yeah,
and then
it's a rumor,
and that's why they all hate, and that's why they hate each other.
Yeah, apparently there's like loads of scenes in the films where they're talking to each other, and you think they're not in the same scene together because they're kind of. Yeah, and Vin Diesel posted something on his Instagram about, or no, The Rock posted something about Vin Diesel alluding to him, and they kind of don't like each other, which is weird because
he's not in the family.
Yeah, he's not in the family. Like, I think when you get so rich, you become weird.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And yeah, so I think like they just fallen out. And
Also, The Rock is dreadful, and like for some reason they look at him as if he's
good.
no, he's dreadful, and they talk about him as if he's like this,
fun.
like he's box office. Like, as if they keep letting him lead films, and they keep bombing.
Yeah,
he's
they're bad
terrible.
films.
He cannot
Yeah,
lead a
yeah.
film, and yet he's like, they keep trying to stop trying to make The Rock happen.
He's-
Is what I would say. Stop trying to make the Dwayne happen.
Welcome to the Jungle.
Happening.
Was it?
Have you ever seen Jungle Cruise?
No.
Oh, what's that?
No one has, Molly. It bombed. Every film he's in is
I
terrible.
thought you were like dropping that. Like, have you heard of a little film called Jungle Cruise? This is like, and we were all going, oh,
Of course.
Fair
Yeah,
enough,
with
yeah.
Emily Blunt. Why am I shouting?
I've seen a trailer for
He's
it.
so passionate about The Rock.
I didn't realize he's such a big thing because at the
I think
Oscars,
physically he is
yeah,
massive.
literally. But like, you know, the Oscars. Remember when they announced the wrong film?
Oh yeah.
And they showed the crowd reaction. There's a photo of the crowd reaction. And he's like in the front row, and you're like, The Rock's in the front row at the
It's because he
Oscars.
wouldn't fit anywhere else. If you
Yeah,
think
that's
he's-
true,
he's in
yeah,
Has
his
he
yeah.
got
face.
like? Has he got dirt on people and he's like blackmailing them to get in big films?
Maybe.
I don't
Well,
know.
maybe
He was
people
married.
just
Okay, I
like
think
him.
Moana's probably the one
yeah.
to if you're going to try and
Yeah.
sell.
Moana.
But he was a
Ever
bigger
heard of
thing
that?
before. A big thing before that.
Jumanji? Jumanji? That's my
Joe
version.
and Angie.
It's always Jumanji to me. Jumanji, he was in the films. Jumanji.
Yeah, the
I was
reboot,
thinking, yeah, Welcome to the Jungle. That was
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, I got
Welcome to
confused.
Jumanji.
But
Welcome to Jumanji.
but yeah, he's like I think he's got a good screen presence and stuff like that.
Agree to disagree.
I don't know.
I think
think
he's
it's-
dreadful. Anyway,
Do
you wanna do your
that's The
question,
Rock.
Mo?
Oh yeah.
this is the best bit of the show.
So
Go.
listen to my podcast,
Yeah,
Be
yeah.
Fast,
Oh,
You Furious,
what?
and
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
If you were to,
Carnage.
if there were to be a cocktail from the stand,
oh.
what?
Are you making this up off the top of your head?
This is
Yeah.
Loving this.
If we were to have a Paul McDaniel cocktail,
Can
Oh.
I
what would be in it,
just
and what would it be
interrupt?
called? No.
We do not do
So
cocktails.
this is
yeah.
the reason that's interesting is because at the bars and the stand we don't do cocktails and we don't do
Don't
shots.
ask for them.
So don't ask them. We don't do
Anyway,
them.
sorry, carry on.
So which is why this is an important question.
Apparently Tom Hanks drinks Diet Coke with champagne in it, which sounds quite nice.
That's it. That's
yeah. I don't know, maybe not.
We sell
Maybe
Kylie
I've turned
Minogue.
no, not that.
We do Kylie Minogue Prosecco. You could do Diet Coke and
Oh.
Kylie Minogue
Well, you
Prosecco.
could do Diet
No.
Coke. You could do Diet
You could do
Cola.
Karma Cola, which is what we
Yeah.
sell. We sell Karma Cola, which is good for the
Oh.
farmers. And it's,
and
Alright.
also BDS compliant. Sorry,
yeah,
it's
so,
for being
we,
so
so we don't
political.
sell Coca-Cola products. So you could have your sugar-free Karma Cola with
trying to
Kylie Minogue
think.
Prosecco.
Could I have like oat milk in it?
Yeah.
And could I have like just a smoothie?
Oat milk in your Diet Coke.
No. I don't want
Yeah,
the Diet
I was
Coke.
like-
Forget that. I'm
I'm
over
sorry,
that.
just-
But like a smoothie. Could
You
I
just
do
want a glass of
smoothie?
milk.
You could do
Just like a glass of milk and just call
a
it
Paul glass
Paul
of milk.
Milk Daniel.
Yeah,
That's
nice. Or I guess it could be like a White Russian.
We've
Oh,
got
yeah,
Panther milk.
yeah.
We've got
White
Panther
First we
milk.
do
Yeah.
Panther milk, so you could have an oat milk Panther milk.
A Paul McStangel.
Milk stand.
Milk
Paul
stand
Milk
Daniel.
Paul Milk
Stangel.
Daniel
Call it
Stan.
that.
It could be
Paul.
like a. It
I
could be
don't
like a White
know.
Russian.
That's
Sorry,
what I
did you
said.
just say that?
Yeah.
I'm trying. My mind's gone completely blank about
think
what I
that's
used to
good.
drink, but yeah,
Irish liqueur.
Yeah, I like
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
like a White Russian,
Yeah.
but with different
Paul
some-
Milk
Paul Milk.
Stand.
Paul
Paul
Milk
Milk
Daniel.
Daniel. I think.
I like the
Something
idea of
like
just
that.
a room temperature glass of milk.
That'd be
That's what it is.
I like that one. What would you guys
Something like
have?
that.
We've got the Paul Milk Daniel.
I really like an amaretto and cranberry juice, but that's only 2 ingredients.
He
It's
was
okay,
gonna
though.
have Coke and champagne.
He's having a glass of milk.
Yeah.
One time we were looking at all the spirits because we've got a few spirits behind the bar that like very, very rarely get.
Harvey's Bristol Cream.
Yeah,
what even
exactly.
is that?
So we were like
I've never heard
looking up, like putting in what we had into like a cocktail website, and it would tell you what cocktails you can make. And there was one that had like 8 shots. Of them. It was, some of them were like half shots,
shit.
but it was like Bailey's, Drambuie, Jameson,
Wow.
maybe Tia Maria. It was like crazy. So I'd have that. I'd call it Loco Latte.
Loco Latte. And you have to order it with the accent as well. Loco Latte.
I'd quit. What would yours be, Fraser?
People that know me and know like
latte shots, whole
We
lot
don't-
of shots.
whole lot of shots. Yeah,
that's good.
that's very good. I
This
like
is
that.
why you're the comedian and they're not.
No, please don't use that.
Loco latte.
If you put it in with the rosé, it could be a whole lot of rosé.
Rosie, that's good.
lot of rosé.
That's an AC/DC song.
Oh.
That's the first time. That's the first time I sang
Whole
it.
lot of love. Whole lot of love.
Whole lot of love.
Whole
Whole
lot
lot of love.
Anyway,
I don't drink. I very,
doesn't
very,
matter.
very rarely
Ever
drink.
heard of 0%?
It's gross. So, I'm
We saw a
married
lot
to
of
an
that.
Irish man, and his family have. I've said this before. I don't know if I've said it in the pub before. They got over the fact that I was a man a lot faster than they got over the fact that I don't drink alcohol.
course,
So, like, they're
yeah.
kind of fine with the gay thing now. We're married. They came to our wedding.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
still at Christmas, I'm like, no, I'm okay. And they're like, do you want to just have a pint? I'm like, I don't really want. And so eventually,
Why couldn't you find a nice alcoholic? Like, that's what
pretty
you
much.
said.
And I have to say, I love my in-laws dearly. They're really lovely. But at Christmas, I sort of caved, and we were at his aunt and uncle's house down the road, and they were like, "Can we get you a drink?" And I was like, "I'm honestly fine." And I held out for so long, and I was like, "Have you got any Baileys?" I quite like Baileys is nice, and they both his aunt and uncle separately heard me. I'm like, "He wants fucking Baileys," and they both went and they both poured me, and I'm not joking, solidly a half pint of Baileys each.
Oh, wow,
and they both
wow,
handed
wow.
it to me, and I was like,
Amazing.
"Merry Christmas!" So I drank a pint of Baileys in the space
That's
of about
so
10
much
minutes.
cream.
I love Baileys.
It is delicious, to be
It
fair.
is.
And
I could drink a bottle of Bailey.
I was the funniest I've ever been in my life. I was like, hey! And then I fell asleep for 3 hours. So I would sell a pint of Baileys.
And what would you call it?
I would call it Christmas Memories.
Oh,
Christmas memories.
wow, that's so wholesome.
Brackets lack thereof.
Isn't there like the Baileys was invented as a Christmas drink or something?
Oh, really?
It feels like it
It
feels
is
Christmassy.
Well, yeah, but that feels like it just has become a Christmas
We sell
drink, but if
more
it's
of it at
made-
Christmas than we do
Yeah,
any other time of
we
the year
do, we
by
do.
a mile.
But I think like it was meant to be. It's not actually an Irish drink. Or I don't know.
is it one of those?
Something
They've
like
I
there's
think
some.
a friend of mine might be related to the person that invented it.
Oh, really?
I
Okay,
think so. I
posh.
think so.
There's some story about it, how it was invented. There was like a podcast someone told me about where it's like they said it basically just they invented it really quickly. Someone was like, "Oh, you need like a Christmas drink," and he just grabbed. You know, it was one of those things where he just grabbed what he had and just threw it all in.
If
And
you
went,
had to sort of
Baileys,
make Baileys, you
fucking,
would guess it would be like cream and maybe like Kahlua and
Yeah,
sort of, but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
chocolate.
all
cream
that
and
stuff.
whiskey, no?
Yeah, it's got
And
whiskey.
sugar.
But it's got a sweetness to it, so
Sugar.
and I reckon that. But it isn't coffee though; it's chocolatey.
Sugar.
But how do they get the chocolate flavour?
There's not
Nesquik.
Might
Yeah.
be.
Just
There's
like a
no
wee.
chocolate in Baileys.
It's got a chocolatey vibe
It's
though.
got sugar.
Yeah,
in
it
it.
definitely has
got
that.
sugar.
I like the mint one as well. Isn't there a
Oh,
mint one
yeah.
and stuff like
It-
that.
Have you ever seen
Baileys
Gavin
is
and
delicious.
Stacey?
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
Rob Brydon and Gavin and Stacey,
Oh, he
Uncle
talks-
Bryn.
yeah.
There's like in the Christmas episodes.
He's talking about mint Bailey
he's-
specifically.
he's-
They-
and
do they
he's
do
like,
a mint
they've got
one?
a mint
It's like,
Baileys.
just when you think
Yeah,
you've,
yeah, yeah.
just when you think they can't.
And then
surprise
it's
you
like
anymore.
they take a sip, and then he's like,
yeah.
yeah.
It's great.
I
I love Rob Brydon.
Same question.
Oh, yeah.
I think mine would probably be tequila, pink grapefruit soda, a Paloma basically, but it would be it would be called Molotov.
That's very good.
Molotov.
A Molotov cocktail. That's very good.
Maybe it should be set on fire. What about that?
Maybe it should be
Yeah.
something.
Is there a Molotov? Oh, Molotov. Right. I just got that. Damn. Is there a Molotov? Is that another cocktail? Is
The
that-
Molotov
yeah,
cocktail is
like
a famous
throw
weapon
them in-
where they
yeah.
fill a bottle and they
Oh.
throw it and it explodes.
Oh, I see. Right.
Fill a
right.
bottle with
Okay,
petrol and
right.
I
then
think
put
it is
a rag in
petrol,
it.
yeah.
Because
Our English teacher taught us how to make
Molotov,
Molotov
that's good.
cocktails when I was in
Thank you
third
very
year.
Did he get struck off and arrested?
He genuinely did. Well, no, he moved to a different school and then he got struck off, but he didn't get arrested.
He threw a champagne.
No, he
bottle?
told us he taught us how to
People-
make a Molotov.
Oh
cocktail.
right.
I-
Oh wow. Did you
He was
put
a
it
good guy, I
into
loved him.
practice or anything?
No.
I had a Christmas party 2 years ago, and there was like 6 of us, and we all needed to bring the ingredients for a cocktail each, and we all had to have.
And someone brought petrol.
Someone brought petrol, but they all had to be named a Christmas name,
Oh yeah.
and then we all had to like make our own ones, and mine was a Muppets Pissmas Carol.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. And then Juliet, my flatmate, she made a black cherry rum sour.
Oh yeah.
And she put glacier cherries in it, 2 each. And she called it "Get Your Baubles Out My Drink."
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
That is good.
yeah.
Pretty good. I'm terrible at coming up with cocktail names, but that's pretty good.
Well, I mean, Paul Milk
Daniel
That's not
was
bad, yeah.
And
Paul Milk
Milk Daniel.
Yeah, I quite like it's quite. There's two. You've got
There's
a White
two
Russian
puns.
and then a pint of Bailey's.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
quite
Very
yeah.
milky
Yeah.
collection.
I'm a creamy guy.
Anyway, let's end the podcast.
Is that it? On that bombshell.
Thank you so much for
Oh,
coming.
Thank you
in.
very much for coming in, Paul.
Thanks for having me. Thank
Bye,
you very
everyone.
much.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for watching and
Bye.
listening.